Hello, dear friends. What is happening? Some people are shooting for the moon externally. Other people have been living on the moon internally for the longest time, doing shadow work, exploring consciousness, expanding in consciousness, and elevating and ascending with the Earth's ascension into the fifth dimension and Christ consciousness. And the spiritual work is actually emotional work on so many levels. And it's not about going to workshops and retreats and meditating a certain amount of hours a day in a certain way, but it's about getting real with ourselves and really being present to ourselves, with ourselves, and feeling our feelings. I know. And that is the expansion that we've been looking for, because the deeper we go into certain emotions, the more our range deepens. And since we live on this plane of duality, the seeming opposites comprise a whole, and without grief, we wouldn't know the depths of love. But we have to feel those emotions that most people avoid. So we've gotten to the point where from avoidance, 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 we're in this like mad rush of constant doing, doing, doing. And our attention is constantly like somewhere on this screen and that screen and this thing and that thing, because we've had this obsession of living as external beings only, as if the physical body is all that we are in our minds. But now, with the remembering of the feminine, we are expanding into the emotional and the spiritual. And that requires opening of the heart and fully feeling. And when that happens, we realize that we are connected with everyone and everything. We are everyone and everything. And we've never needed an external source to point us to God and connect us with God, people that have never been connected most of the time at all. But we are the source, and we have this direct connection because just like a wave of the ocean, the wave is the ocean. So are we to consciousness and awareness. We are consciousness and awareness, and we're limitless, except we are here to experience ourselves as separate for the sake of having an experience. And this is the dance of reality. So humanity is collectively realizing that. And with women being able to finally speak their truth and feeling a little bit more secure that if they do, and if they share how they actually feel, and if they say no, they're not going to be immediately murdered. And also, if they share insights and intuition and wisdom and use the power of thoughts and emotion to heal and transform, and nobody's going to persecute them. And with men remembering to feel, and instead of going to war on the external, working on winning that internal war within, uh, and really focusing and being present with their own lust and greed and anxiety and fear, mostly fear, that's something that we all need to sit with and overcome, and the doubt and the insecurity and the victim mentality. Um, so this is what's happening, and we're all evolving at different times. And everybody who remembers and anchors that higher frequency helps everybody else to attune to it, since we're all connected. And it's such a beautiful motivation to be doing the work internally, knowing that it affects everyone, and really embodying being the change that we wish to see in the world, and realizing that the world is a reflection of our collective consciousness. And the more each one of us works on um, becoming whole again, and not denying and rejecting parts of ourselves, but feeling and seeing into ways that we can integrate them, and realizing that every emotion serves a purpose, and negative emotions have a powerful charge. And when we learn to work with them, we can alchemize them and express them into art and create something beautiful out of something really painful. Then we realize that we are these magical beings, and we don't need an external savior. Jesus doesn't have to come again. Um, but we are the Jesus we've been waiting for, and everybody is their own savior. And nobody needs saving, we just need remembering of what was lost and forgotten. And it's coming back around to be found and remembered. And it's a beautiful process, because naturally we have to have the solution for new birth to happen. Uh, but again, we see that in nature all the time. And the energy can never be destroyed, it can be transformed and move from this form to the other. So, when we do not fear the dissolution, when we stop holding on to illusions and allow them to shatter, and allow the light of truth to dissipate the darkness within, then the process is a lot more enjoyable and fun. And the longer we hold on to illusion and the old and that which needs to be let go, the more we prolong the internal suffering, because we're not moving along with the energies that are constantly seeking embodiment through us. Uh, so we learned that this process is one of continuous letting go and surrendering, so we can let more in. And in the process of letting in and letting go, there is the letting out of the processing of the processes, and creating more beauty and more of that which we wish to see on the earth, and solving problems not by staying in the frequency uh, where they originated, but always rising above to a higher frequency where they don't exist. And each problem carries with it the solution. And when we focus on the solution, even though we don't know how we can make it happen, but we know the solution to sickness is health. The solution to poverty is abundance. The solution to pollution is cleanliness. So when we focus on the solution, we'll see all of a sudden that this person invented that, and this thing happened here, and now we have abundance. And all of a sudden, everything is transformed, only because energetically we called this timeline into being, and supported it with our belief and attention before there was any physical evidence for it. Because everything comes back from the spiritual etheric planes and then manifests into the physical. So when we remember that this is how things work, and we're spiritual beings having a physical experience and not the other way around, and spirituality isn't something that we need to go and seek, but we are, and you can't be more spiritual than this. It's just becoming aware of that and embodying this awareness. And Yeah, everything is so paradoxical. And at the same time, not taking any of it too seriously because it's a dream we're dreaming. And we are the dreamer and the dream itself. That's what's happening.